King Adrian, what up?
Hell, hey, King Andrew.
What else? I came and I walked in the flesh. What else? I gave you your first and last breath.
What else?
I died so you could have rest. Faith of a mustard seed is all you had left. Still naked in front of me. In your nice clothes, I could give a man a vision with his eyes closed. Certainly, change a man's heart without surgery.
What else?
Without hands, did it all without man. What else? The only one can count sin. I'm the one. Take a look at me. I did all this. It ain't a dollar you can find in heaven, but we all rich. Put the sun right up in the sky to show we all lit. Who could do what I could do? Tell me who could fill the earth. He been smoking for like 20 years. Them lungs still work. Everything I make is durable.
What else?
Till I put it in your hands and man treat her horrible. So wasteful and ungrateful. What? If it wasn't for Christ, I'll hate you, annihilate you, make a new earth and replace you.
What else?
And some of y'all never said thank you. It's quite sad. You don't appreciate nothing unless it got a price tag. Turn yourself to a slave for money. Who in the Bible ever prayed for money? Who in the Bible ever prayed for fame? It's getting real strange. It's best to be poor to have an ill name. You more concerned if it's a real change rather than real change. That's a mess. $1 million check ain't gonna bring no respect. $1 million home, do that mean that he home?
What else?
Do that mean that he blessed? He got 10 bedrooms. Do that mean that he rests? Not likely. Only way you not like me is if you not like me.
What? Hallelujah! Who sent you? What? I am.
Woo! We put ourselves here. Facts. We the reason we on food stamps and welfare. No education, no health care. 400 years was our sentence. Cause we killed every prophet God sent us.
What else?
Slavery was made for sinners.
What else?
And royalty was made for the meek. What else? Heaven wasn't made for the weak. It's all I got, that's what I made for the week. It don't matter how much I got, if what I got is blessed. God ain't gotta multiply the fish, gotta make it stretch. Seem like I pray and read more when I have less. I don't think I really need more. If I have breath, scream and serve, gotta die till I take my last breath. What else? God don't ever have steps. What else? Yeah. Hold up, hold up.
Hold up.
Hurricane after hurricane. You ain't noticed after COVID, nothing been the same. You insane if you think America could change. Christ coming back to put America in chains.
I am.
Better with Egypt, better believe it. This song is like a letter from Jesus. Only time you took a stand was for the Pledge of Allegiance. What else?
What more do I have to do to show you? What more do you have to do? What more do you have to see from me for you to believe? But when somebody in your family died, now you believe. Now you want to come to me. Now you want to pray. Putting angels on their back all over social media so you can acknowledge heaven, but you can't acknowledge hell. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. Like my father said, therefore whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and do of them, I will liken unto them a wise man which built his house upon a rock, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell.
Yeah. Listen, I used to feel hopeless. Why the bad kids always get noticed? You will leave 99 of the sheep, that's a fact. for the one who lost focus. This always happened to me. I'd rather be the prodigal son, cause that's the one. Everybody more happy to see. I'm the one nobody ever remembered. That's why I hated every birthday and every December. If it wasn't for my God and my grandmother, I wouldn't know love. Yeah, I wouldn't know love. It all started PS 73. Yeah, Sean, Chrissy, Talib, Shanique, Brownsville, Rockaway, Hall Street. Where you learn how to fight or flight on sight in a house by night, either shot or sliced. 4 pair nights or some Jordans. Alcoholics never lived in a place long enough to call it what you might call it home. Never rooted like trees, always moving like leaves. Get settled and pack up and leave. How you expect for me to make fruit if I don't take root? Been in like 8 schools, yeah, so I'm failing and rebelling. I was wild as a juvenile, yeah, locked down with the juvenile in my cell. Praying God let me out of jail. Before I learn to read, I learn to believe. I learn how to pray, get down on my knees, and it always worked. That's a fact. Pray to God like it's always church. And what's wild, right before trial, went to see the judge and I smiled. She said it's something about your smile. I'ma let you go cause you smile. But if I see you again, you going straight to the pen. God said give him paper and pen. Started rapping from that day since. Dropped out of school, high school never made sense. Took God out of school, do that make sense? Nah, it was always God. Smoking weed back to back, I was always high. No matter where the sun go, it always rise. So I always rose out the dirt like a rose, out the fire like gold, out the dryer like clothes. Like the higher I go, I'ma suffer, but remain quiet like Job. Cause all things work together for my good. Take whatever's not good like an oil chain. Walk through flame, and we walk through lava. What would I be without Abba? The one who make change without a dollar.
It seems like the world all this time.
All right, y'all. Shalom, shalom. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High Yahweh by way of His Son Yahweh Shai. Just thankful for another Sabbath, for being here, man. It's been it was an easy week, up until today. A little stressful things happening at work, but nothing that's gonna keep me back from being here. Doing the Most High's will and doing the Most High's work. So want to say the water to the elder for joining us, right? All praise to the Most High. But y'all brothers can go ahead. Y'all got anything before class?
Well, I want to thank, first of all honor, glory, power, might, majesty, and dominion to our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai and his father Abanawa Yahweh. And I'm honored to be invited to be on stage with you, brothers, man. So let's get the show on the road. And thank you so much, man.
Come.
Khan, shalom, everybody. Hey, good to see you, Elder, man. Hey,
Good
I
to
see
see you
like
too,
everything
King.
worked out, brother. I told you it was gonna work out, brother.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I want to
Man,
thank the back, man. The back patiently walked me through the steps, man.
God,
I
all
Yeah.
praise.
was clutching like a sailor in frustration, man.
God. But no, all glory and honor to the Father. Happy Sabbath, everybody. Glad we here. I pray that everybody, listening, stay committed to be edified from the Most High, because whatever the word come out, never look at it as us bringing it out. It's the Most High bringing everything to Israel's attention. So keep your ears open and pray that you learn something, because we always learn something if we listen. I land there.
Come. Yeah, man. So before we get started, if anybody, did want to check any of that music out, that's our good brother Johanna in Houston, his son. That was, I'm assuming, right? Because it's new to me. I'm just gonna say that, right? That album is new to me, called Big Yahweh. So y'all brothers and sisters, hit this website, New Israel. It's not spelled Israel, it's spelled Israel, literally how it sounds, right? NewIsraelmusic.com. Right. So you can find, his music and a lot of his content. I believe he has his clothing line, New Israel, as well. Right. So you can go on that website, support the brother. And, like we always do. All right. So let's get started. Without further ado, let's get started. Right. So I just want to start by saying I got this idea literally just to listen to my mama just talking. Right. She called me one day and she just talking. And my mom was one that never really cared as far as like a lot of the Hebrew language, or not necessarily cared about the language, but more so just the use of it, using it. Anytime we say the greeting, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, Washamartha, she just sit there. She used to sit there with her mouth closed, right? But now she started doing it and saying it back, so all praises.
All praises, all praises.
So it gave me the idea to do this lesson because we should embrace, right? We should embrace our language, whether you want to believe it's pure, whether you want to believe it's tainted, right? It's some type of truth to it, right? And Elder is here to even tell you that, hey, it's 100% our language, right? But I just wanted to, go into it because, a lot of times been seeing what's been going on in the news, right? As far as all of our people, these children been going crazy. And, hey, a lot of times this stuff starts at birth, right? It starts with just simply what you name your children, right? Because remember, the scripture says power in the tongue, right? So one of the first words that's spoken over your child life, right, is you giving them their name, right? It's almost like a foreshadow of things to come, right? So we're gonna get into these scriptures, but before we do, I want to show y'all what my government name. Oops, so let me share my screen first. I want to show y'all what my government name means, right? Or where it derives from. So let me share my entire screen. And we're going to hit Google together. All right. Y'all can see my screen, right? Okay. All right. So government name, for those that don't know, is Dorian, right? So let's see what comes up when you Google this, right? So this literally says the name Dorian is of Greek origin, right? Already starting off on the bad foot because, again, Hebrew is our language, right? It says derived from the ancient Greek tribe known as the Dorians. It literally means of Doris or of Doros, referring to a district in Greece or the son of Helen of Sparta, right? Additionally, the name is associated with the Greek word Doran, meaning gift, which connects to names like Dorothy and Dora, so on and so forth, right? So first thing that pops up is this, right? Now, the son of Helen of Sparta, that's all of that Greek mythology and all of that crap. So it just goes to show you right there, it started out bad, right? Started out bad. Again, being not born in the truth, it's bad enough. All right. I just wanted to show y'all what that meant. So let me pull up the Bible app now. Type it in here. So let's start in that, right? So if y'all noticed the thumbnail, seen the thumbnail, right? I created it for a reflection of, the old man literally being, a man of the world, right? And that when that man looks in the mirror, now that reflection looking back is the new man, right? The new man with his fringes on, right? And I put in a word bubble, responding to the brother saying, "My name is Dorian," and the reflection in the mirror saying, "No, right? Your name is Debat," right? Which in full in Hebrew it would be Debat Yahweh, right? Means cleave unto Yahweh, right?
That's
So
right.
let's go to Colossians 3, starting out, y'all. And we're gonna pick it up at verse number 5.
All right. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry,
Mm-hmm.
for which things sake the wrath of Yahweh coming on the children of disobedience, in which ye also walked sometime when you lived in them. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds.
Right. So when we come into the truth, this is what we do. Right. This is what any of us should be doing. Once you learn the commandments, you start keeping the commandments, and you start dropping all of these things, right, which you used to do. Right. That's the old man. What goes with that old man? It could be simply a name. Right. Now, do you have to change your name? No. Right. But if you have, and I would say if you have already a name that would translate back to the Hebrew language, then use it, right? And it would still be you putting off that old man. Why? Because now you're trying to live up to your name and what your name means, right? Go ahead.
All right. And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
See that? Which is renewed in knowledge, right? Dorian wasn't renewed in knowledge, but guess who was? Debat, right? Mike wasn't renewed in knowledge. Guess who was? Mayaka Allah, right? And the same thing, Elder. I don't know your government, right?
Yeah, Salakia King, I don't mean to interrupt, man. I meant to ask you to type in Richard and see what that says.
Oh, Khan, I got you. I got you. Right up there, right. As a matter of fact, no, I got you right now. Let's see. We're gonna go right back to it. Khan. So it says the name Richard means brave ruler or mighty ruler, derived from Germanic roots signifying strength and leadership. It says the name Richard originates from Old High German and Old Frankish, combining the elements rich meaning ruler or king, and hard meaning brave, strong, or hardy. The etymology conveys the idea of a strong and courageous leader, a meaning that has remained consistent over centuries. That name was introduced to England by the Normans after the 11th century conquest and quickly became popular among royalty and nobility. So you got a mighty name according to the Germans, Elder.
I used to get red as a kid. They used to call me Richard the Lionhearted, but I didn't see where that was. But
That's right here where it says historical significance. It says Richard has been born by 3 kings of England, including Richard I, known as Richard the Lionheart. So that's probably where they got that from. Con.
Okay, Lord. Go ahead.
Con. You can read verse 10 again.
All right. Verse 10. And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him,
Mm-hmm.
where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision or uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Amashiach is all and in all.
Mm-hmm.
But on therefore, Salakia, put on therefore as the elect of power, holy love, bow of mercies. Is it bows or bows?
Either or.
Kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering.
And I'm sure none of us, right? None of us was this way, right? We was never separated and beloved, right? Especially as the elect of the Most High, right? Underneath our government names, right? But he still had mercy on us enough to give us knowledge, put brothers in front of us to help lead us to repentance, right? Especially, I know I wasn't long suffering, not before now, right? Go ahead.
All right. Forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Yahushua forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness.
All right, go ahead.
And let the peace of Yahweh rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Let the word of Yahushua dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in songs and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord.
All right, this is the last one.
And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Amashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by him.
Right. So whatever we do, right? So that means, and even like renaming yourself, right? This is why elder, like a lot of brothers, we know a lot of brothers and sisters that came to the camp, we all should share the same story, right? Because Elder Karab is one that gave us a lot of our names, right? Or helped us figure out, what we wanted to name ourselves and told us, exactly what it meant. And the way that he did that is he had us write 5 good characteristics about ourselves and 5 bad characteristics about ourselves, right? And he combined on that, thought upon it, right, and gave out, names accordingly, right, to what we wrote. It's not according to what he thought, right? It's just according to what he wrote, and the Most High gave them the knowledge and understanding of our language to give out those names, right? So whatever names that you brothers and sisters receive from the elder, or whatever names that you came in with yourself, right? We all gotta live up to it, right? When you embrace it, you own it, right? You live up to it. You literally measure your doings and your deeds by what you decided to accept as your name, right? And that's with anybody, right? So now let's go to Isaiah.
Yeah, I hope you're going to 65, bro.
We can pull that out too. All right.
Go ahead, Lord. I don't know what you're pulling out, man. Go ahead, Lord. I'm rolling with you.
Okay. All right. So start at verse 1, 44 and 1. We written down through 5.
All right. Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Thus says the Lord that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, with whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty,
Mm-hmm.
and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thine offspring.
Right. So he's letting us know that he's going to give us knowledge and understanding. Right. This is prophesied from the prophet Isaiah. Right. Go ahead.
And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the waters' courses.
Right. And what they going to do?
One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel.
Right. So this is why when you brothers and sisters scroll, Facebook and get friend requests and maybe even send friend requests, you'll see brothers by the name of such and such Ben Israel. Right. You'll literally see that. Well, this is because of this scripture here. Right. Some brothers and sisters legally changed their name. Right. Like literally went downtown, went through the whole process of actually doing it. And then other brothers, at least I know like myself, right? I just changed it amongst, our people and left my government name, what it is, right? And also, it's nothing wrong with that, right? Because during this lesson, we're going to see that other brothers did the exact same thing, right? We're going to see that during this lesson. All right. So you wanted to go to 65, Elder?
Yes, Lord God. Oh, Isaiah 65, and we're going to start from verse 12.
Okay.
Verse 12 to verse 15.
Okay.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, and verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye
Isaiah
shall.
65. Oh, my bad. Verse 13, Lord. I'm Salakia. My bad.
Okay, Salak. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, and verse 13. Therefore, thus says the Lord power. Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold,
So
my
we know the
servant.
children of Israel are the Salakia. So we know that the servants of the Most High are the children of Jacob because Israel is the servant, right? So that's the prophecy that the Most High is saying about us that's serving him. Go ahead, Lord.
Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit.
This is a future prophecy for them that all of them that have us in captivity force us to change our names and accept their government names. And as we can see, even our women, man, in their quest to reaffirm their Hebrew or their identity, they start naming their children Latoya. Toya in Hebrew means stretched out arm. You know what I'm saying? So Latoya, Natasha, those are Hebrew words. Hebrew coming from the Hebrew language. So there's a lot of things in even in the English language that stem from Hebrew, but in Hebrew it has a different meaning than what English says. I just want to point that out. But go ahead, Lord. Last verse.
All right. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord power shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name.
So Israel was rising, and that's why we're all getting back into our Hebrew name. Some brothers bite off of Amalek and take their names. I can't, I can't judge them. You know what I'm saying? But we all know that we're all trying to get back to our roots and our culture, man. And that's where, and I'm a land there because the Lord says that them giving us their government names, their Greek names or whatnot, that's a curse to us because it's not our Hebrew vibes. And I'm a land there.
Okay. Right. And you're 100% right, Elder, because it's literally, I'm not going to go to it right now. But during the lesson, we're going to see that Nebuchadnezzar, right? He gave Zedekiah, King Zedekiah, his name, right? His
Can
original name was I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Medaniah or Madaniah, right?
I
I
think he
started to
gave
go to the scripture and pull out the book of Daniel because they did the same thing with Daniel, with Canania and matter
Meshach.
of fact, I pulled it up out the Torah too. Pull that up out the Torah.
Okay. Right. Yeah, all of that, right? All of that happened, right? So from here, I'm gonna get I had a couple videos, y'all. So let's do like this. All right. So a couple videos, y'all. All right. Let's see. Saved. Right. So y'all check this out. So right here. Let me go to this one first. All right, ain't got no sound. All right, here we go.
Listen, I'm too tickled. As I'm driving, I'm looking at a car tag that says Lil Outlaw. Listen, y'all, be careful what you name yourself, because what you name yourself, you will become exactly that. Be careful what you name your children. Your children will become exactly that. Be careful what you allow other people to name you. You will become exactly that. A name is powerful. It means everything. The Bible says a name is better than riches. That's how powerful it is. Y'all be careful out here what y'all naming yourself, because if your name Lil Outlaw, that's how you act. Okay?
He decided to take a voicemail that I left on his phone and use it to sample on one of.
Get that out of here. Right? And that's true. Right? Let's watch another one, right? Let's watch another one.
Hey, it's your decision. When you name your kid, names have meanings, names have power. Some names have stupid. I'm gonna be honest with you. People come up with names. I remember I went to school with a gentleman. His name, I'm gonna give you his whole name because it was just dumb, and I don't know what his family was thinking about naming him this. His name was Buffoon William Johnson, but the first name was Buffoon, so it's like Buffoon Johnson. And we're like, you know what? As I got older, I didn't think of it. I'm like, whatever, man, Buffoon, because my name is Wild. But I'm like, Buffoon. But as I got older and doing my research, I'm like, you know what a buffoon is? Buffoon is foolishness. A foolish person, a buffoon. Somebody, I mean, and then I know some people like, oh, but that's so pretty, that's so cute. Some of these names is not cute. Some of these names are off the chain. I have no idea what some of these parents was thinking about naming these children these types of names, especially when a lot of people do. Like we knew it was going on all the while, that people was getting discriminated with their name.
All right, so that's it on that. All right. And then
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let me get Isaiah 62. Right. Because it is the Most High. The reason, like, we can go back to the curse, right, with Deuteronomy 28 and 37, right? You know, changing our names, right, because of our disobedience. So when we got our names changed, this is how low the Most High put us. He gave us names as heathens, and what he thinks about the heathens, this is the name he thought about us when our mother and them was conceiving us, and the name that they gave us, like nicknames, like the man was saying, a buffoon, right? You know what I'm saying? We got nicknames like in street names, you know, Pookie, you know, stuff like that. And the first thing that we think of Pookie is a person that steals and robs. Like, you can't get away with that, right? And then you got girl names named Cookie, right? So a lot of times those names represent your sweet or whatever. It could be sexual, right? It's Sparkle, like all these names that we be having, and we don't even know what the meaning is. We just want to use it for a name to be glorified on. Because a lot of times we create nicknames just to have a name so we can sound cool and be popular about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give out 62 and 2 real quick.
Oh, 62. They said 52.
2.
Give me 1 second, bro. Isaiah 62 and 2.
God.
And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called.
So and the Gentiles shall see the righteousness, and all the kings thy glory, right? Because you know what these nations look at us now? Niggas, right? So when they look at us as niggas, when they look at us as what they call us wetbacks to the northern kingdom or whatever, all these defiled names that they give us, right? They don't look at us in righteousness. All the names that they give us, especially like their last names, because Israel don't have last names, right? So we take on our oppressor last name as property, right? So like if you got the Williams, the Williamsons, right? Those are considered like that's the leader William, the master William's sons, right? He owns them, right? And we take pride of those names, like Taylor Made, right? I'm Taylor. My last name Taylor, and I'm Taylor Made. We glorify these names like we hold on to these things, and these are none but names that the Most High put in our enemy to make fun and consider us as low as them, right? Go ahead.
And thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name.
Right. The mouth of the Lord shall name. When you came in this truth, that's when you found out who you are by the name. Your character represented who you were. And some of y'all, I'll be honest with you, you use these mighty names and it really don't fit you.
God.
You'll use these mighty names and say, that's who I am. But it don't even match your characteristic. Again, you coming from a colonized mindset, speaking of a name and saying like, oh, I'm King David. But you don't even act like King David. You don't even think like King David. You don't have love for your people like King David, right? Only thing that if you want to use your name as King David, you may have an adulterous mindset, right? But understand our name that the Most High gave us when we came in this truth is supposed to represent who we are. And you ain't supposed to let no one change who you are, because that's the name that the Most High gave you. So if you want to act like a nigga in this truth, then the Most High gonna kick you out and give you that name nigga back into the world. Because when we in this truth, we don't call each other niggas over here. Why? Because our name changed and our action shows of the spirit of the Most High. So we got to keep those names and hold on tight. And whatever the name the Most High give us when the time, the day we receive from him, that's who you're really going to know who you are, or these are the names he already given you. So live to your name until Yahweh and Yahweh Shai say so. I land there.
Okay. Right. So now let's look. Right. We're gonna go back. I got a couple more videos. I'm gonna play this one right here. Right, because this is literally, it's a little funny, but this is how some of our people do when they naming their kids. Right. So, and they'll spell it just like this. Right. They'll spell it just like how they spelling these names. This just be ridiculous, right? So let's listen to some of these.
All Dynasty.
The Dynasty.
DA3. The Travion. The Quinn, J. Quinn. J. Quinn.
You meant Jaquintralicia?
QU.
Like, what in the world is that? Right? Let me go back. Right? Just seeing this on the screen. What is this?
It sounds like the mama said, I want her to be ghetto like me.
God. Like, I'm gonna put my I'm gonna put your daddy name in there, and I'm gonna put my name in there, and we gonna combine the full name. Cause that's what that look like.
You ain't getting hired no time soon. You better have your own business.
Right. And that's what the other brother started out by saying, like, hey, y'all know these names go to HR, don't y'all? So it's like, come on. But our people, they be liking this stuff like this, right? The other brother before this, right? Let me go back a little bit.
Is this a for real, or this is a skit?
It's a skit.
Okay, kind.
But
I get it. I understand it. That's some real life stuff. I get it.
Kind of like right there, like the Travion. The Travion. Now, if you're gonna name it that, why are you gonna put the number 3 right there? Right? Some people literally do that. Right? I want to be different. Right? Instead of just putting TRE. Now let's go.
Quinn, Jay Quinn. Jay Quinn.
You meant Jaquintralicia?
Quart.
It's Courtney.
Right. So you couldn't just spell it regular, you know, Kourtney or with a C, right? You couldn't spell it regular. You had to literally, you know, be difficult. Right.
Hey, the other got pushed out.
Oh, you got pushed out?
Yeah, he's not even on the bottom, so hopefully he can get back on.
He should be able to just hit the link and log back in.
I keep an eye on it though.
Okay, Con.
Easy Kyle.
Hey, bro, it's Ezekiel.
XZY.
Man, it's Xia.
My God, bigotry.
It's the Montre.
Is this a DAS? A DAS? Thirstina.
Thirstina?
Gotta get by. Yeah, what'd you say?
These are kind of names that our people want to name their children, right? They just be sickening. It's literally one of those sickening things, right? So, got a couple more, y'all, because I want to play this because those names, right? These are the names of children that act just like this. What we finna see. Right now, again, I don't know any of these people in these videos. I don't know these children's names, but what I do see is a behavior, right? And a behavior speaks to the type of lifestyle that they grew up seeing, grew up idolizing. It's not, and I will say this, it's not always the parents' fault. They could have had some of the best parents, but the children want to just be rebellious, right? But I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this stupidity. I'm gonna play this stupidity. And get the volume up. Right.
Hey, you see? That's a guy who puts this in his face.
Hey, and excuse the language, right? Excuse the language as well, y'all.
I fight by myself. It's only one person fight. It's one person. Man, they need to do something. I'm trying. Hey, fuck all that. My weapon blocked up. I'm not doing it, bro. Just do it. My weapon bitch up, man. Fuck no, hey, y'all, they calling the police. They calling the police. They calling the police. Nigga for the trick, you know, 3 days. They go to police, man. They right there behind you. They behind you. Man, come on behind you, over with. Push that bitch, son.
Go, son.
Go, Nisha, go. Get this bitch.
Don't get that to me, dick, on my soul.
Man, get out. I'm not taking no hands up, y'all be cool.
I ain't got shit on me.
Take it back in the car. Oh my.
Y'all see, you see what happened. The dudes literally was trying to get the females the guns. Like, nah, this ain't mine. I ain't got nothing on me. He got out and literally said that. Right? And this is all after they was just so-called tough in front of their own people, in front of their elders, disrespecting their elders, right? This is one of those common, at least we heard one of them. One of the girls' name was Nisha, right? It could have been any kind of Nisha, right? We know it was short for something, but it just goes to show you the type of things that our young kids grow into. So this is why you want to do them justice by at least giving them a proper name, right? On an outlook, and it can be from you, right? An outlook on how you want to see your children grow up and be, right? If you don't want your kid to act like what was one of the names? Demon Trey, right? If you don't want your kids to act like a Demon Trey, don't name them that, right? Give them something that's powerful, right? That's sentimental, right? And we ain't talking about no, ain't got to be named after no car, ain't got to be nothing crazy, right? It don't have to be what a lot of people would consider unique, right? It can just be something that means something, right? And by us being in this truth and we, bringing in babies, right? It should be something with a Hebrew type of feel to it, right? Like Elder said, that, some of the names, they, it mean like he said, Latoya, right? It literally translates into something in Hebrew that's not something that's crazy or wicked. So why not give it that? Let me play the rest of this.
On your stomach! On your stomach! Get on the ground! Get on the ground, man! Get on the ground! It's the other one right Get on the ground! I'm on the ground! On your stomach! Turn around! Man, I'm gonna say for bumping into me, we baby, you know. Oh my gosh! Bumping nigga, that's how I'm coming. You got in the house. Stay where you at, all right, brother? Hey, it's hot down here. Behind your back, man. Hot. Hey, I can keep my phone on. Excuse me, I can keep my phone on. Absolutely, keep your phone on. Here, you got another pair of cuffs. Nigga, behind your back, man.
We don't have to watch any more of that, right? Because we just see our children and a bunch of foolishness, right? No respect, no nothing, right? So let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5. And we can start right at verse 1.
Book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 1. The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Yahushua, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed.
Right, so we see that these children have no respect for their elders, right? Those brothers that they was so-called running up on and pulling out guns that's more than likely not theirs, right? They didn't exhort their elders. They didn't look at their elders as being exhorted, which we understand that we under curses, right? So the elders that we have in the world now, right? They're not, I wouldn't necessarily use the word worthy, but at the same time, they're still elders, right? You still a certain level of respect, even from among worldly people. At least that's how I was raised. It wasn't no cussing around no elders. I don't care if you're on the bus, if you're away from your parents, if you're in the mall, you always respected the elder, right? We always help elder if they carrying something, they may drop something or whatever. They need you to pick something up while you in the store, and you see them struggling in the store as a young man, right, or a young lady, when there's no other men around or anything like that. You help your elders. But we can see that these kids don't do that, right? Go ahead.
Verse 2, feed the flock of Yahweh, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not by filthy lucre, but of a ready mind.
Mm-hmm.
Neither as being lords over Yahweh's heritage, but being in samples to the flock.
Right, so this is the elder's job, right? They're supposed to be examples. Go ahead.
And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away.
Right, and that chief shepherd is Yahushua, right? He's the one that gives us that crown in the end, right? So go ahead.
All right. Likewise, ye young, submit yourselves unto the elder.
No, rule over the elders.
Submit yourselves unto the elder.
No, talk back to them.
Submit yourselves unto the elder.
You got to submit yourselves, right? And usually somebody named Bonquisha, right? Or I can't even think of no crazy names at the moment, but y'all know these people, right? Usually them people, they ain't submitting themselves. They ain't got to answer to nobody. They don't care who you is. All right, go ahead.
Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For Yahweh resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble.
Right, so he gives grace to the humble, right? So you got to know this, right? So now let's go to Genesis. All right, we're going to start diving into our forefathers, right? And their names, right? Some meanings, and we're going to also see their names being changed, right? So let's start with Abraham.
All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, and verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the almighty power. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Yahweh talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
Mm-hmm.
Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee.
Right, so we see that Abraham names mean what, right? A father of many nations.
And could I interject right here, Lord, if I may?
Go ahead, Elder.
His name was Abraham, meaning a high father, exalted father. But then when the Most High changed it to Abraham, meaning because Ham becomes many, the father of many. So he was the high father of many. That's what the name really comes down to. I just want to interject that on the name. And I land there.
I want you to interject on all the names, Elder, because I don't know them all.
Did I come through clear? Because sometimes my phone be breaking up.
You was clear right there.
You was clear, Elder.
All right, so we literally see that, right? Verse 6.
And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
Right, so we see the Lord changing his name here, right? Now, you may say, well, I'm walking the earth right now. The Lord is not going to speak to me and tell me that my name is such and such. Well, guess what? He will speak to you, right? It shows you that in the book of Numbers that if it's a prophet among you, he'll make himself known in dreams and in visions, right? I'm sure all of us have had dreams. I'm sure all of us have had visions. I'm sure all of us have had conversations with other brothers and sisters, right? That literally, like, I didn't get my name from Elder, right? I did ask him to help me understand it and what it means, right? But I literally thought of my name just having a conversation with Micah Allah, right? We had a situation in the Detroit congregation. This is before we became LOI, to where we really wasn't gathering like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was the one that will always call everybody, make sure everybody kind of, stay in contact with each other, so on and so forth, right? And the brother literally told me that I was the glue. He's like, you the glue in the body that help keep the body together, so on and so forth, right? So, I took that compliment, humbly, and was like, okay, well, this brother saying this. I'm like, well, let me see what this means in Hebrew, right? So that's that's what led me to the box, right? So this is how I literally came up with it. It wasn't on my own, because I would have never said that I'm the glue that kept this together. That no, the Most High is what kept us together at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, the Most High keeps us together through whatever it is that we're dealing with, whatever it is that we're going through. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, that's what it was. That's how, the name became the buck, right? Let's scroll down to verse 15.
Verse 15. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be.
Mm-hmm.
And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
Right. So I'm sure that this is not the exact meaning. Elder, you can give me the exact meaning of Sarah. But I know this is a characteristics of her, right? She's the mother of nations, right? Because the scriptures clearly said this.
Right. Shar in Hebrew is prince. So Shara would be the feminine for princess. So yeah. And it can also mean that she's a song too, because Shara is to sing. So she's a singing princess to the Most High.
Okay. All right. So let's keep rolling, y'all. Let's keep rolling in Genesis. Let's get into these names here.
All right.
So we're going to 32, right? And let's start at verse 22.
All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 32, and verse 22. And he rose up that And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford of Jabbok.
All right, so this is talking about Jacob, right? Go ahead.
And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with Yahweh and with men, and hast prevailed.
All right, see that? So this is what literally Israel means, right? Prince of power. All right.
Yashar Allah.
Huh. Right. And we understand when you look up Jacob, which would be Yaqua in the Hebrew, right? It means supplanter, right? Because he's going to supplant Esau. Right. These names wasn't just coming out of nowhere. Right. These names always meant something. It meant, what they walk will be. Right. And it was foretold. This is why Jeremiah, let's get that, because we're going to come right back here. Right. This is why the Most High told Jeremiah what he told him. Verse 5.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 and verse 5. There, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
See that? So it's known what's going to be of what, right? So this is why it's an honor. Anytime you bring in a child in this world, you should take it as an honor. And you should say, hey, I'm going to name this child something significant, right? Hey, the Most High may change the meaning of what I'm going to name it, right? The Most High may use another man or, somebody else to change the name and the way that the parents said it, right? Now, it doesn't mean that the parents was off, right? That child could still have some of those characteristics from a name that you gave him, right? But at the end of the day, the Lord is the one that sanctified thee from the womb, right? So he's ordaining the life of, said person. So it could be a totally different purpose. You don't know the purpose that the Most High has for your child, but you be smart enough as a parent to give them purpose, right? Starting with their name.
Hey, real quick, let me add something on there real quick.
Yeah.
Go back to that Jeremiah 1:5, right? Because that's a key thing where if we read that very carefully, you will see something, how this goes, how God created humanity, right? Read that verse, start verse 5.
Okay. All right. So it's verse 5. It says, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee."
All right. So remember, he's saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. So that means he knew you before your mom, your dad, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take that back into Genesis. The 6th day is when he created all men. So this is what he means that I knew you, right? Because he knew you from the beginning. Yahweh created you by his wisdom, by the thought process. And remember, the Bible says he knows what gifts he wants to give us, what kind of blessings he wants to give us. He knows what he wants to do for us. So all men that he says, what in Ezekiel 34 and 31, hope I ain't messing up that scripture, we said all males is his flock,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So we have to understand why, because in the beginning, well, even though he made Adam, right, and we all come from Adam, right, he already knew us through spirit, right? Because we know that God is spiritual. He's a spiritual man. So that's why he knew him before he was formed in the womb, because he made him in the beginning. When God created everything in the beginning, he created us and he gave us our name. That's how he knew who you were, because he already ordained your name in the beginning. And when at the time when, as our foremothers, they had a different connection with our God than we have now, right? That's why you had angels pulling up, messengers telling Mary, telling Elizabeth, this is who you're going to name your child. Why? Because the name was already given from the Most High. They didn't have to create names. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. Most High already gave them their names because he already named us. Why? Because Israel is a property of God. Right? One more scripture. Let me get Genesis 14 real quick. We are property of God. That's why our names is already ordained to us. See, when we became property to the nation, this is why we got these names that we have right now. But we now, since we're back to God, we become property of God, right? So give me 14 and give me 16.
Genesis 14, verse 16.
No, 18. Salakia, 18.
Verse 18 of chapter 14.
Chapter 14, 18. Khan.
Okay, this is Genesis 14, verse 18. And Melchizedek, which is in Hebrew Malak Tazadak, king of Salem, which will be king of Shalom, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God.
He was the priest of the Most High. Most High already knew him from the beginning. Go into the Hebrew, right? Go into the interlinear. Because we're going to find out what Melchizedek's name means, right? Because the name, if he's the high priest, right, then guess who named him the high priest? The Most High. So we got to find out the high priest characteristics.
I think it's in Hebrew. It tells you what Melchizedek is, the king of righteousness.
Khan.
Malak, I don't.
Go up a little bit, Debat. Go back to the pronunciation.
So, I think Elder just said it too.
Khan. Okay, Khan. Got you. All right, go ahead. Go down now.
All right.
So when you read as his name in the biblical usage, my king is Sadat. King of Salem. So understand, King of Salem. That means a short term for Jerusalem. So we know that Christ is the King of Jerusalem. And then you got Melchizedek as King of Salem and priest of the Most High Power, to whom Abram paid tithe after the battle he fought to free Lot, right? So we understand this perfect, I don't want to say this perfect, but this high priest that Melchizedek was, right? He had a name as a high priest, right? He wasn't no, I'm just going to just name him Melchizedek. The Most High knew who he was before he was in a womb. So he knew Melchizedek in the beginning, and so on and so on. And then it says the order of Melchizedek, the order of the priesthood to which Christ belongs, right? So it's telling you that this was Christ in the spirit of Melchizedek, right? We understand that. That's how he's been knowing us from the beginning because of Genesis. It's nothing new. So his name is not going to be Christopher, King Christopher, or the high priest Christopher. Why? Because that has nothing got to do, maybe, I don't think that has nothing to do with Hebrew. I'm not sure.
Brother, can I just drop Hebrews 7 to back up what you're saying, bro? Hebrews chapter 7, verses 1 and 2. For this Melchizedek, Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being by interpretation king of righteousness, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace, king of Shalom, as I said before. See?
And who is king of priests? Yahushua. Yahushua is the king of peace. He's the king of Israel. He's the peace, and he's everything. He's the king of Israel, that's which is Jerusalem. He's the king of peace, right? He's the savior. You know, he has all those characteristics. That's when people say he has a lot of names. No, he has a lot of characteristics that fits one name. That fits one name, because that one name provides everything about him. Yahushua names fits kings of peace, Salem, Jerusalem, king of Jerusalem, king of righteousness, the savior. It fits everything. So no, when people say, oh, he got a lot of names, no, one name represents him, but the whole army, the whole armor of what his characteristic is him. So he don't have multiple names. He just have a strong character, what he's going to do for Israel. I'll land there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, our brother's on fire with that, right? So let's go back to Jacob, right? Because it was told twice that his name was going to be changed, right? So the first time it was said that his name means, Prince of Power with the Most High, right? Now let's see what else, right? Because this is going to be like a prophecy, right, within Jacob's name being changed, right? So start at verse 9.
All right. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 35 and verse 9. And Yahweh appeared unto Jacob again when he came out of Paddan Aram and blessed him.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel.
Right. So did the Most High have to do that a second time? Right. Of course. Right. The answer is yes, he did, because he also was giving him prophecy right here. Right. I'm going to show you how. Read verse 11.
Verse 11. And Yahweh said unto him, I am power almighty. Be fruitful and multiply.
Mm-hmm.
A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
See that? A company and a company of nations, right? So now let's go into this, right? You might look at that word. I know what company means, right? But again, we are or supposed to be a Hebrew speaking people, right? So let's go into this word, right? Let's look at this, right? So the biblical usage shows assembly, company, congregation, convocation, right? Assembly. It says for evil counsel, war invasion, religious purposes, right? Or as organized body, right? And what is the 12 tribes supposed to be? Right? We're supposed to be an organized body. We're supposed to be a congregation that comes together and have convocations, right? The 12 tribes, we're supposed to be set apart. But he was even letting us know, literally, let's go back. I'm gonna go back. Go to the verse again. Okay. Right. Read that again, verse 11.
And Yahweh said unto him, I am power almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins.
Right. So we understand that Judah, right? Kings come out of thy loins, right? A nation and a company of nations, right? Because he also had what? His grandchildren that come in, right? And his one of the youngest grandchild being Ephraim, what? He became the head of the northern kingdom, right? So this is how he was going to be a nation and a company of nations, right? And the kings came out of his loins, right? Verse 12.
And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land.
Right. So he kept his promise always with Israel, right? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. It was always that way. Right. So let's keep rolling. Genesis 41. And what I got? Yep. So Genesis 41. And I might shorten this one up. Let's start at verse 41.
All right. This is the book of Genesis 41 and verse 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had, and they cried before him, bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And
Right.
Pharaoh,
Right. So we understand that he was made second in command, right? It's because what he did, he, interpreted his dream, right? And then Pharaoh made him second in command and was letting everybody know, hey, y'all can't come against him. Right? So go ahead.
And he made him to ride this, verse 44. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphenath-Paneah.
Okay, let me just interrupt you right there. In the Hebrew, it's Tazapanath-Paneah. Tazapanath-Paneah. That's the Egyptian name that Pharaoh gave him. I land there.
Okay.
And he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt.
All right. So now we may look at that, right? We may look at that and see, like, man, CJ, this is the Egyptian name, right? We shouldn't be calling him that, right? So now let's go. We're gonna go into the meaning of it, and we're gonna see how the Most High don't make mistakes, right? He uses these other nations to even rename us, and that name is still in righteousness, right? So first, we're gonna go into Joseph, which is Yosef, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Salakia. Right, which means it says Jehovah, right, or Yahweh has added, right, or add none to, right? So that's what Joseph means, All right, so let's go back and we're gonna look up that other one, right? So let's look up this name, right? And it means treasury of the glorious rest, right? A name given by Pharaoh to Joseph. Now you have to ask yourself, how was he a treasury of the glorious rest? Well, you got to remember, actually, no, I'm not gonna even speak. I'm gonna let the Bible speak. Because it's gonna tell you right, you're gonna read right into it. Most High don't make no mistakes, right? So keep in mind, right? That name means treasury, and I just forgot that fast. Right? Treasury and gift of rest, right? So let's keep reading. Verse 46.
No, I think it was treasury of glorious rest.
Khan, treasury of glorious rest. Khan.
All right, what was it, 46?
Khan, yep.
All right, verse 46. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And in 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same.
Okay.
Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much until he left numbering, for it was without number.
See that? Keep going.
And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for Yahweh said, he have made me forget all my toil,
Mm-hmm.
all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for Yahweh hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction.
All right, go ahead.
And the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt were ended.
I see that. So we see that he was made to gather up all of the corn throughout every city, gather up food in general, right? Because of the famine was coming, the famine was on its way, right? Now let's see what else happened. Go ahead. Verse 54.
And the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said, and the dearth was in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread.
Mm-hmm.
And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, go unto Joseph.
Go unto who?
Go unto Joseph.
Go ahead.
What he saith to you, do.
See that? So they had to go to Joseph, right? Read verse 56.
And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all the countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands.
And this is how I forgot. I can't pronounce the elder.
Spina.
Khan, right? That's how that name means what it means, right? The treasury of glorious rest, right? Because everybody had to come unto him, right? To buy all of their food, because it was famine in the land. They couldn't grow from it, right? So the Most High used Pharaoh to name him that, right? As something that was going to happen shortly after he was even given that name, right? So it just kind of go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that storehouse, the stuff that he put in, that was more of the pantry. He was in charge of the pantry. So all the times of the famine on the earth, hey, all the grain, what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think the corn is the corn what we see today. That is just talk about the grain. You know what I'm saying? He took all the grain, took everything that they needed. Why? Because the famine was here for a long time and they had enough to feed everybody. So by you being in the pantry, you also are in control of the finances in the pantry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that definitely fits his name. Because guess what? When the Most High put you in position, whether you are a slave or not, you know what I'm saying? Well, I want to say it or not because we're captives right now. So rather being captives in this captivity, understand when again back to the big point. We always been who we are. It's just the fact that it was our time to be ignited. That was Joseph's job. He always been who he was because the dreams was told to him when he was younger.
Okay.
That all the 11 stars was going to pay obeisance to him. And all it was fulfilling his name. The dream was really fulfilling his name. That people were going to worship and honor you. So the Most High already knew who he was, even when he came to be that other name as an Egyptian. He still had charge of how he was going to bring Israel into the land to fulfill prophecy. God never make a mistake.
Okay. Not at all, right? So let's keep rolling, right? I don't know why. Yeah, I know I'm typing in Moses' name, but that's exactly where we're going next.
The book of Moses.
Okay. All right, so we starting at verse 5 in chapter 2.
God, you want some reading out of here too, Elder?
It don't matter, bro. I chip in, bro. Exodus 2, verse what?
Verse 5. Start at verse 5.
Okay. Exodus chapter 2, verse 5. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the river's side. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it.
Mm-hmm.
And when she had opened it, she saw the child. And behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children."
Now, you see how this Egyptian woman, right, in today's time, what we would call African woman, already knew it was a difference just looking at the child, right? So I don't see how people can get it confused. Those are not our people. We are not the same, right? But nonetheless, right, this child is Moses, right? As we're going to see that the Pharaoh's daughter even named him, right? So let's go ahead.
Yeah, then let me add too, man. She had to know it's a Hebrew because remember, Pharaoh didn't command to throw all the Hebrew babies in the river.
Okay.
Yeah, so verse 7. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee?" And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, "Take this child away, and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages." And the woman took the child and nursed it.
Mm-hmm.
So just let me add to this. The same woman that was nursing him was his mama.
Mm-hmm.
And she was getting paid by the Egyptian to nurse her own baby.
Yeah, that's
right. It's awesome, man.
God.
Oh, man.
Keep it in the family. God.
You have to think you're trying to make sure that they don't kill the baby, so you try to get it to escape, and it goes into the right hand of Pharaoh's daughter, and then she understood that, hey, I can't raise this baby or feed this baby like a Hebrew woman can. I'm gonna give it right back. So it was just like the Most High allowed it to get past that state of situation to be raised again back where he wanted to be, because that was all the purpose of the Most High. Mm-hmm. God, again, he do not make a mistake. Whatever it looks like, it doesn't mean it's going to be like it.
Verse 10. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses, and she said, because I drew him out of the water. Right. And in Hebrew, Moses is Masha.
Okay. All right. And Masha means drawn, right? Drawn or drawn out of the water. Right. And again, this is literally something that literally took place. right? He was literally drawn out of the water by Pharaoh's daughter, right? Or the maid of Pharaoh's daughter, so to speak, right? So at the end of the day, this is something that Moses went through as a child before he got his name, right? Another one that comes to mind, I didn't write this down, but let's go back real quick. Let's go backwards, right? Let's go to Isaac, right? Let's start at let's just read verse 3.
Chapter and verse. Chapter.
21, Salakia. Chapter 21, starting at verse 3.
Chapter 21, verse 3. Okay. Genesis chapter 21, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac.
All right. Can you get a Hebrew name, Elder?
So the Hebrew name is Yatazakak. Or Yatazakak. Yatazakak. Which means laughter, because Abraham laughed when the Mosai told him first, and then Sarah laughed when the Mosai came back and told him that she was going to get pregnant, and she laughed too and got scared because the Mosai was questioning, "Why is your woman laughing?" And she got scared. I'm like, "No, I wasn't laughing." So,
God.
Yeah,
and that's what it said in verse 6, right? Because it says, and Sarah said, "God hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me."
wow, look at that.
So it's literally it shows you what Isaac name means, even in the scriptures, right? Or Yatazakak, right? So let's get some more, y'all. Let's go to Numbers, right? Because we know Joshua just as Joshua, right? You know, I'm not saying nobody knows that he had a different name, right? But at the end of the day, guess what? One of the men, which we just talked about, Masha, even gave him another name, right? So chapter 13 in Numbers and verse 16.
13 there. Numbers 13. Bear with me a second there, Lord. 13, verse 16.
Come.
Okay, Numbers chapter 13, verse 16. These are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Hoshea, the son of Nun, Yahweh.
Come, right? And that's what it's supposed to be, right? And here we understand that it reads Jehoshua, which is Joshua, which, like Elder said, translates to Yahweh Shai, right? So we can go into the blue letter here. Now, the blue letter won't reflect Yahweh Shai. And I know they did that for a reason, you know, but we're going to go into the first one, right? This is why Elder said Hosea, right? Which is Hosea, which means salvation, right? It means salvation. So let's go back and we'll look up the.
Okay. Let me get the same thing in the Torah too, man, so I can read it up to back it up.
Okay, Khan. I was just showing you. Khan, you can find it. And as you finding it, right? Joshua, it says Jehoshua, which we know as Yahweh Shai, which means Yahweh is salvation.
16, verse 16. Right. So, okay, let me read it. Let me read it all the Torah too, man. It says Aha Shamwat. That means all the names. Aha Nashim. Nashim is men. Asherah Shalak Masha. Lathawar Atha Ratazah. Wayakora Masha La Hawashai. And they translate Hawashai as Hosea. You understand? Because Hawashai is to be saved. Ban Noan Yahawashai. That's what it says in the Assyrian script for the Hebrew. I'll land there, bro.
Okay, come. Come. Right. And I want to go to Zechariah 6, right? Just to continue down that line, just to show you that that name Joshua means what it means. So let's go to verse 11, chapter 6 in Zechariah. And let's pick it up at verse 11.
Chapter 6, verse 11.
Come.
Zechariah.
Come.
Then take silver and gold and make crowns and set them upon the head of Joshua, the son of Jozadak, the high priest. And speak unto him, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, Behold, the man whose name is the branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of the Lord.
Verse 13.
Even he shall build the temple of the Lord, and he shall bear the glory, and shall sit and rule upon his throne, and he shall be a priest upon his throne, and the counsel of peace shall be between them both.
Right. So this is just the prophecy of Yahushua, right? And I'm just pulling this out to show you that Joshua is the same name, right? They have the same name. The Joshua that was raised up, behind Moses, right? It's literally the same name as Yahushua, right? And this symbology inside this scripture shows that, right? It shows that he was going to be a priest upon his throne. He's going to rule upon his throne and a priest, which we know when Yahushua returns, that's what it is, right? Brothers brought it out earlier, even with in Hebrews 7, right? On how Yahushua is a priest, right? So I just wanted to, pull that up just to show even more support behind the meaning of the name, right? And this is why this brother was chose to show this symbology, right? So let's keep going. Let's go to another one. 2 Samuel. All right.
Jump on this, Mike.
Nah, keep going, brother. I'm tuning in like right now. I'll let you know when I'm ready to get back in. Go ahead.
Yes,
Lord. I kind of just locked in, just listening, brother.
Okay, so 2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 24, right?
2 Samuel 12.
Yep, a lot of us just realize we just call Solomon. Well, guess what? Solomon had another name, right?
Yes.
Solomon had another name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The same name that they call Yahushua too. So 2 Samuel 12:24, you said?
Come on, Elder.
2 Samuel 12, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And David comforted Bathsheba his wife, and went in unto her, and lay with her. And she bare a son, and he called his name Solomon. And the Lord loved him.
Right. And Solomon named
Shalama.
Come. Right.
With Shalama, which means peace.
Peace. Come.
Lord loved him. And verse 25. And he sent by the hand of Nathan the prophet, and he called his name Jedidiah. In Hebrew, it's Yada, because of the Lord. So he sent by the hand of Nathan the prophet, and he called his name Jedidiah because of the Lord.
Okay. And let's see. Let's switch this. I'm gonna switch this version real quick. I'm gonna switch this version to the NLT, and I'll read it, Elder. Verse 25. It says, "And he sent word through Nathan the prophet that they should name him Jedidiah, which means beloved of the Lord, as the Lord had commanded." Right. Mm-hmm. So that name means beloved of Yahweh. Right. I just wanted to bring that out to show y'all what it means. Right. To show y'all that it's not always just the Lord that does it how he did with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but he uses men on earth, righteous men on earth. Right.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
So now let's go.
Oh, you want me to continue reading?
La elder. Yeah, I'm gonna drop it. I'm just going through some of these, you know, just so we're gonna get this stuff drilled in your head to accept the name that's given. Right. So now let's go to John. Let's go Yahushua renaming. Right. Start John chapter 1 and verse number 40.
John chapter 40.
I'll read this one for you, Elder.
Oh, right. So what, okay?
I'll read this one real quick. This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 40. One of the two which heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first findeth his own brother Simon, and said unto him, We have found the Messiah, which is being interpreted the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought him to Yahushua. And when Yahushua beheld him, he said, Thou art Simon the son of Jonah. Thou shalt be called Cephas, which is by interpretation a stone.
Right. So Peter's name, right, means a stone, right? Or name was changed to Cephas, right, by Yahushua. And then it says, which is interpretation a stone. So let's look this up, right?
Right, because I think that stone could also mean a rock.
Okay.
Like a big rock.
It's like a foundation.
But go ahead, Lord.
Like a mountain of a foundation, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, right. Yep. So it says a rock or a stone, right? That's what Peter equals, right? So Strong's definition says apparently of a primary word, it says a rock larger than, I don't even know what G3037 is.
Like a boulder.
But I want to go down to, where is this at? It's not here. All right, I wanted to go down to, maybe it's, oh yeah, right here, it is here. Right, it says signifying, this is Thayer's Greek lexicon, right? It says signifying a stone, a rock, a ledge, or cliff. Says used metaphorically of a soul hard and unyielding, and so resembling a rock, right? Because that's how Peter. This is what Peter was to the church, right? Especially after Yahushua's death, right? Peter was one of the main ones that was on the scene. You know what I'm saying, before Paul, right? Before Paul became who he was, which that's actually who we're gonna go into next. Right? We're gonna go into Paul next. So I want to go to, I didn't even write the scripture down. You know it right offhand where he was knocked off the was it 9? Is it 9?
In Acts, when he got knocked off, when he went blind?
Yeah, it's Acts 9.
I think it's Acts chapter 6.
So it might be okay. So that's when he got knocked off. So this
is 9. You're right.
So yeah, I'm trying to find the exact verse.
Are you talking about when he got blinded? You want to start from there, or?
Yeah. So let's start at verse. Yeah.
You want to go up, so go up to verse, because you got. I think you might stop to the top.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Start at the top.
Go ahead, Elder. You got it.
All right. And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Lord went unto the high priest. I'd like to say something here too. Saul here is the same name as Saul that was the first king of Israel, right?
Okay.
And it's from the Hebrew Shawal. And Shawal in Hebrew means hell. So when Israel was talking about they wanted a king, Moses said, okay, I'm going to give you hell for a minute before I chose David. But that's my opinion. So,
and that's exactly
okay.
what Saul was causing. So like it, Elder. That's what Saul was causing. Why? Before he was converted, he was causing hell amongst Israel.
Crying against the disciples of the Most High, Yahweh. And desired of, verse 2, and desired of him letters to Damascus, to the synagogues, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound unto Jerusalem. As he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly it shined round.
You breaking up, Elder, now.
And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me?
Right, so stop right
And he
there.
said,
Stop right there, Elder. Stop right
yes,
there. So now let's go to, I want to go to Acts 22, right? Is it 22?
You want verse 7?
It's not saying, it's not reading how I wanted to read. This is not. I did one verse.
I can't remember the exact scripture wherein when he changed his name from Saul to Paul. But I know he had to change it from Saul to Paul because he wasn't giving Israel hell anymore.
Yeah, that was in verse. I think that's like chapter 13, and it wasn't actually changed. There's no scripture in there that shows that it was changed. It's just in there that where it shows
right that he got changed. That's Saul being called Paul.
Yep, and that is Acts. Let's see.
13.
Yeah, it is. That's 13. But the one I want is actually in 26 because I want to show the language that's being used. Right. So 26 and 14. Because he's telling
26 verse 14. And when we Acts chapter 26 verse 14. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks.
Right, so we see him retelling the story, and he's telling how Yahweh spoke to him. Right. He's showing that he.
Salakia. Could I just read the first verse of the same chapter?
Okay.
Chapter 26, verse 1 says, Then Agrippa said unto Paul, Thou art permitted to speak for thyself. Then Paul stretched forth the hand and answered for himself. So when we go to verse 14, then he says, And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. So go ahead, Lord.
Okay, right. And we see that he's making the distinguish between, right, Shaw is how it's pronounced, Elder?
Yes, Saul, Shawal.
Okay, right. So he's showing that distinguish between that this is the Hebrew language. And now let's go to Acts chapter 13, right? And I believe this is the first time where he was yeah. So read before we even get to 9. Well, actually, no, just read 9.
Verse 9 where?
Chapter 13. in Acts.
Chapter 13, verse 9. Okay, Lord. Acts chapter 13, verse 9. Then Saul, who also is called Paul, filled with the Holy Spirit, set his eyes on him.
Right. So it's just showing you that you got to remember the times who was ruling, right? And what time what was Paul born in, right? And how he was raised, right? He was raised by the Greek in the Greek fashion, in a sense, right? Even though he knew the law, right? He still was raised during the time of the rulership of the Greeks, right? So you had some people speaking that was like the main language in a sense, right? You still had the Israelites speaking their language, which is why Yahushua spoke to him in Hebrew, which means that Paul was bilingual, right? He could speak different languages. You know what I'm saying? So this is how he had a different like Paul would be the Greek name, so to speak, right? We understand that Shaul would be the Hebrew side of it. Same thing with brothers like I believe, was it Thomas' name was Barnabas, right? Was it Thomas? I think I said that right. Joseph. Salakia is Joseph. Is Joseph, right? So Joseph was called Barnabas, right? Let me see. Let me grab it. So Acts chapter 4.
Let me get my New Testament.
And verse 36.
All right, I'll read it real quick. It's the book of Acts, chapter 4, and verse 36. And Joseph, who by the apostles was surnamed Barnabas, which is being interpreted, the son of consolation, a Levite, and the country of Cyprus.
See that? So it shows you a Greek name, right? Hebrew name, right? And that was Thomas was Didymus, right? Or however you want to pronounce that. All right. It literally shows you the distinction that these brothers was literally living during the different times, but they still knew their language, but then they also know who's ruling, so they had another name. So it's no different than me, right? In the English captivity, my name is Dorian, right? Hebrew Debat, right? Same thing. Micah Allah from Michael, right? Richard Elder Karab, right? It's no difference. Well, it is a difference in the names and the meanings, but I'm just showing you how the citizenship played a role during the time of captivities. Right. So let's see here. I'm gonna skip that. So Zephaniah, I'm gonna go to this because it's gonna come a time where we come back, y'all. We're gonna come back to the language, and we ain't gonna have to worry about any of this crap. So Zephaniah 3, and let's start at verse 8 and 9. Read verse 8 and 9.
Zephaniah 3.
Verse 8 and 9.
Okay, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8 and 9. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey, and for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour up my indignation, even all of my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord, to serve him with one consent.
See that? So he has to turn to us a pure language, because a lot of us, We don't know Hebrew. A lot of us don't care to learn Hebrew, right? Some of us think it's wrong. Some of us just don't know, right? So the Most High is going to make it pure because he's going to make it concrete, right? Through Yahushua. He's going to make it concrete. Ain't going to be no arguing. Ain't going to be no this. Ain't going to be no that. It's going to be what it's going to be. And we're going to refer to one another in our pure language, which means we're going to have pure names, right? With pure meanings behind it. We're going to live up to those names, right? Ain't going to be no second guessing. Ain't going to be, oh, you getting the name of a mighty man when you ain't nothing but a wimp, right? Hey, it's going to be pure. It's going to be pure. It ain't going to be no more of that. And we need that, right? We need that in this nation. Well, and I'm going to pull something up. I'm going to pull this video back up because I wanted that to segue into this video, right? Now, this video is an Edomite, right? We're going to listen to what she got to say, right? Because we've had something that happened in our nation over the past couple days, right? The brother, I believe his name, I know his first name is Nolan. I believe his last name is Wells, right? And the brother went to, I guess, on a trip, so to speak, on an island with a bunch of Edomites, and he didn't make it back, right? Now, we all know what happened, right? But let's listen to this Edomite woman giving a warning, right, to what we should already know, right? Let's go ahead.
This is going to be a hot take, and it's either going to get me canceled or people are going to be like, you're right. So here we go. I'm just going to say it. Black people have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people.
Let me rewind. I got to go back because we need to hear that again.
I'm just going to say it. Black people have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people. And I mean that. If you're going to be the only black person in that group, go home. Go home. Because these days, you just can't trust white people anymore. Obviously. It happens time and time and time again. You see one black person hanging out with their group of white friends, and they're like, oh, I've known these guys for forever. We grew up with them. I'm the only black person in the high school or something like that. Especially down here in the South, okay? Down here in the South. Obviously, we realize that these pieces of crap, the white people, will turn on you. They will turn on you quick.
Can somebody grab Sirach 12 and 10?
Okay.
I ain't gonna move it from the screen.
I got it right now.
Yeah.
All right. This is the book of Sirach. You said 12 and 10, right? It's
Okay.
the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
See that she said it. They will turn on you. they would turn on you because they in each other's ear, right? You might have one Edomite that it has some kind of sense to him, but then you have another one that's just wicked as I don't know what, right? And like she said, they'll turn on you. So Sirach says what again?
All right. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Hey, he's a wicked soul, right? So don't trust him. Now, if we had our language, if we had our heritage, we wouldn't even be having to listen to this devil speak. All right. If you embraced who you was, and now don't get it twisted. We understand we talking about, names and stuff right now, but embracing your name means embracing your heritage, right? It means living righteously. And if we did that, we wouldn't have to be listening to this, right? Our children wouldn't be caught up in anything like this because they will be the hell away from these people and among our people.
So not only do y'all have to be worried about the police, now you need to be worried about your group of white friends that you grew up with. And am I saying every white person's like that? No, obviously not. Okay, but better be safe than sorry, right? And that's a shame. But I just keep seeing it happen. And like over the past, like, you know, 2 or 3 years, especially, if you know what I'm talking about, people have just gotten louder and prouder about it. So really it all boils down to like a lack of empathy these days. That's a whole nother subject though. But yeah, it don't come from me about my hair. It's running 5 miles.
Jamaica, have you been following the story of Nolan Xavier Wells, the 18-year-old whose body was recently found on Horn Island? Well, this is the reason why this lady made this video. He was indeed the only black teen amongst white teenagers. Now, the sad part of the story is that many are going to say that this is about racism. Many are going to say that these particular teenagers that he was with are guilty. And to be perfectly honest, I cannot blame a single person who thinks this way. Because as you know from previous stories, there is a pattern here, a really scary pattern that cannot be ignored. However, investigators are now saying that they suspect that it's a drowning and they do not suspect foul play.
Now, who didn't see that coming? Right? Who didn't see that coming? But it always have to be our people. And let's just imagine you flip the roles. Let that one Edomite, right, be the one that didn't make it back from the trip. Every last one of them that came back, they would have been arrested. Right? Now, I don't know if anything happened today, if it's any kind of update, but up until the point when I knew about it, guess what? None of them was arrested. Right? None of them was arrested. They came back making up a story saying he wanted to stay on the island by himself. Right? And what's even more crazy is it's even said that they had his phone. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know one black person that's about to leave their phone and stay somewhere.
Hey, we ain't gonna stay over there by no water because a lot of us can't swim.
At all. So let's just finish to it so we can.
Many times have we had one single black person amongst white people either turn up dead or missing, and it seems to be some kind of tragic accident. Nobody knows what's happening. Nobody has any idea how they ended up this way. And so far, so many of these cases have gone unsolved. Now, Nolan and his group of friends, they went on a boat trip to Horn Island, which is a barrier island about 10 miles off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. His friends all returned back that evening, but Wells did not. Then the mother reported him missing and asked for help on social media. This triggered a 2-day search for help. Now, you tell me, how them friends come back home and them not trigger the search? It's the mother who had to trigger the search for her son. They didn't realize that their friend was missing and was nowhere to be found. So anyway, the search came to an end on Monday, and that body was found on the island. Now, according to his friends, Wells did not return on the same boat as the group. He chose to stay on the island, allegedly. Now, even though the latest reports claim that he was drowned, they are saying that there's no indication that there was any drug or alcohol use, and that the coroner would have more information following the investigation and toxicology report. This young man was a promising football player. He had so much going for him. And just because he trusted the wrong crowd, he ended up not having anybody to have his back. Because there's absolutely no way this young man should have been left behind. And even if he was, It should have been the case of them checking on him to make sure that he was safe. He clearly was not checked on. Nobody cared to actually call around and say, hey, are you okay? What time are you coming? What boat are you getting? Who's with you? No, we're not leaving you alone. And this is the kind of thing that happens when you're with a group of people who really don't regard you, really don't rate you. Because true friends will have your back and make sure so you get home safe. True friends are not going to leave you to be isolated on an island where the only way you can get to mainland is by boat. The only transport you can take. True friends are not going to do that. Right? So when people are saying that, oh, it's not about race, oh, it's not about, listen, it is about race. It is about disregard. It is about the fact that he was not considered valuable enough for them to check on their friend, and they made sure each other were okay. Explain that.
This is going to be a hot take. And
all right. So my last scripture.
Before you read your last, I'll just interject.
Go ahead.
And put my 2 cents in. Murder the brother. And I'm going to land there.
Say that one more time.
Those bastards murdered the brother. And I'm going to land there.
Agreed. 100% agreed. All right.
That's the same thing with Carmelo Anthony, who was defending himself, but he got railroaded and sent to prison.
Okay. All right. Wait. 12. So 12, Salaki. Sirach 41, verse 12 and 13.
I read it. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 41 and verse 12. Have regard to thy name, for that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold.
All right, read that again.
Have regard to thy name.
Have regard to thy name, right? Not just your own personal name, but the name of Yasharal, right? Yasharallah, Israel, right? Knowing who you are. Because more importantly, we understand that this lesson was about embracing your name, right? But your name ain't the only thing, right? Tied to whatever name you may have or whatever Hebrew name you may choose to be given, that is tied to our forefather, Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, right? That holds weight, right? Have regard to thy name, right? Meaning uphold that thing, esteem that thing high, right? Because that's important. That's our heritage, right? What's the saying? Who was that? It was the devil that said it. Or maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Was it Scarface? No, I don't think he said he didn't mention name. But even nonetheless, right? Uphold thy name. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. I know what you're saying, but you don't want to say that on live.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so read that again, verse 12.
Verse 12, have regard to thy name, for that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold.
Right, so that's what's going to continue with you throughout your lifetime, throughout your lifespan, right? It's above 1,000 great treasures of gold. You can't have enough money. There's no amount of money that's more richer than your name, right? Go ahead.
A good life have but few days, but a good name endure forever.
It's gonna always be remembered, right? You can have a good life. You could have been living it up. You done lived your life. You done ate all kind of quote unquote good foods to you, right? Never starved. You know, you got one of the biggest houses, a nice size house, right? You driving nice cars, got your rims on it, got your sounds in the trunk, right? That's only for a few days. right? But a good name endures forever, right? We still talking about Moses. We still talking about Yahweh, more importantly, right? We still talking about Isaac, Abraham, right? We still talking about those brothers right now today. Are we sitting there talking about, Rick, that literally was one of the I guess you can call a hustler, right? One of these people that was riding around in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? They buying all the kids ice cream, right? Are we still talking about them people? Nope, not at all. All those people that you grew up, quote unquote, idolizing or noticing that this brother got a little bit of money, and this is as a child, right? You see, the adult men in the neighborhood walking around flashy. They got this, they got that, right? That's only for a few days. We ain't talking about them no more. Hell, some of us even forgot some of their names because we all had somebody in the neighborhood that was kind of living that kind of lifestyle, but you don't even remember their name half the time now. But we still talking about all of our forefathers that's mentioned inside this scripture. Right, so that's how important your name is. Right, now land there.
And let me give you a precept, man. Let me get it. Ecclesiastes. I think it's chapter 8. It's either 8 or chapter 7 and verse 1.
Can't be that one. It might be 7.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 1?
No, 7 and 1. There it is.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
That good name is better than precious ointment. You have to understand, but if it's saying it's better than a precious ointment, you have to think about how good an ointment is, right? The ointment that they're talking about is the oils, right? What did we use oil for? To anoint kings, right? So you have to think that your name is better than anointed king, right? Why? Because your name is a representation of Yahweh, right? So then you also have to think about what else ointment is, right? Think about Yahweh's burial, right? With Matthew 26 and 6, the lady, when she put the ointment on him to prepare for his burial, it's saying the name is better than precious ointment. So when we think about the alabaster alabaster box with that spikenard oil she put on Yahweh, the Bible itself, which King Solomon is saying that your name is more precious than that. So when we start naming our children any kind of thing, you need to be careful what you're naming them, because a lot of these names, it represents Esau, it represents the Africans, it represents all these other nations, but God's chosen name that He was given to you. So when you change your name to a Hebrew name, take honor in that. That's a badge of honor, right? Just like a man having a beard, that's a badge of honor. Having a righteous name, that's a badge of honor. That's more precious than ointment. And it says, and the day of death is better than the day of death, right? Because sometimes we may look at death as like, dang, that's a sad thing. But when a brother or a sister keep a law, statutes, and commandments, that's a glorious thing, because they're returning back to the Father. And then it says, then the day of one's birth. So your name is the first thing you should have before you come out the womb, because that is more precious than anything, right? Because the good name travels very far. And that's why we should keep our word as men and women. Why? Because that falls on your name. Okay. You should be praying for your neighbor. You should be understanding to your neighbor. Why? Because that's a name from your neighbor to understand that this brother or sister said they want to pray for me when I'm going through hard times. And what happens? Your name comes up out of that. So protect your name because your name is your character. So if you want to be, what is it? They call it devil. It's called Diablo in Greek. Is that what it's called, Elder?
The devil is Satan.
Satan?
Satan, yeah, it means adversary.
Exactly. So you don't want to be an adversary to your people. So be careful with the name you choose and the actions you take place. Because sometimes you may have a good name that's mean quality, but your actions is dirty. So your name has to match your actions. So hey, don't come and say you Joseph and you these mighty men, but your name, your characteristics doesn't match your name. That's a disgrace to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, King, let me just add to what you're saying, though, King. Like you and brother Dabak brought out earlier too. Sometimes some people have names that doesn't really quite suit them. Because in the days of Jeremiah, Zedekiah, his name was supposed to be Tazadak, which is supposed to mean righteousness, but he was far from righteous. Okay? In the New Testament, the so-called Sadducees, they call themselves Tazadakia. You know what I'm saying? They were saying they were the righteous guys. But we all know that Yahweh came and reproved all of them. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes some people is not living up to their Hebrews.
They didn't even believe in the resurrections, the Sadducees.
Right.
But I'll land there.
God, yeah, they resurrected that wickedness. Right. And real quick, I do want to show y'all this, right? Because the brother, anyone who's interested, right? The brother Yashawan has a list of names, the prophets' names, the brothers' names that's in the scriptures.
It's not showing. It's not showing.
Oh, it's not showing?
Nah.
I don't know why. Okay. Add to stage.
Yeah, now it's showing.
Right. So so it's a list of names here.
You barely can see it though. The back is like really kind of they squinched up.
Fine print is, yeah.
Yeah, it comes in like that, so you got to spread it out. Is that better now?
Better. You can see a lot better.
All right, so it has like a list of names, the Hebrew pronunciation, and a definition. All of them don't have definitions behind it, like what the name means, right?
Yeah.
But y'all can see, that.
I think I need to give him a proofreading on some of his spellings.
It's something that he downloaded.
It's all good. But it's all good.
It's something that he downloaded, but he has a list. Of course, everything, it could, like you said, they could be updated,
Right.
It could definitely be updated. But he has that list. And just so the sisters, right? Let me do this because I don't want the sisters to feel left out. Right, so let's go real quick before we close all the way out. Let's go to the book of Esther. All right, so let's start at verse. Let's see, verse 5. Right, just so the sisters don't feel left out, we gotta bring it out for our sisters. So start at verse 5, Esther chapter 2 and verse 5.
All right, this book of Esther, chapter 2 and verse 5. Now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite, who had been carried away from Jerusalem, with the captivity which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther.
See that? So Hadassah would be the Hebrew name, right? But Esther is her name in this captivity.
She was in the Persian, right?
The Persian captivity. Right, and let's go to the blue letter. Right, so we're gonna look up Hadassah, see what that means. Right, means myrtle or myrtle tree. Right. I want to grab Google real quick. All right, just so y'all can see this. So it says the name Hadassah originates from the Hebrew word hadass, which refers to the myrtle tree, right? A fragrant evergreen tree, right? Known for its beauty and ability to thrive in challenging conditions, right? And we know how that whole story went, right? We ain't gonna go over the whole thing, but eventually we end up getting Purim from that story, right? All of the hardships that we had to endure, that she had to even endure, especially dealing with that wicked king, right? How many sisters want to deal with a wicked king, right, to save their nation? Right? How many sisters willing to do that? Y'all can put it in the chat. I'm gonna check it in a minute. Put it in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you would have did what she did, right, for Israel, right, being called up by the king, and basically, in a sense, even being married to the king, so to speak. Right? How many sisters would do that? But this is what this sister did. Right? It shows here, it says the myrtle tree's symbolism of grace, elegance, and resilience reflects the qualities attributed to Esther, or Hadassah, actually, right? So it shows her courage, righteousness, and devotion to her people. You know what I'm saying? So I almost forgot to bring that out, but definitely wanted to bring that out to show that, hey, even the sisters, y'all have righteous names as well. All right. But hey, all praise to the Most High. The Water Brothers for hopping on here, the Water Elder for getting on here.
It was an honor, brother. Honored to be with you, Kings, man. I am honored to be with you, brothers, man. Appreciate this class, bro. You set my skin on fire with the Hebrew, man. So, yeah.
God, yeah, that's another reason why I want you to be on here. I want you to correct everything.
I just do what I can, Lord. All praises to the Most High, man, for using me, using us.
It's definitely an honor to have you, Elder. Especially one of the One West, members, and the originator of Kwam Yasharala. It's definitely an honor to work with you, brother, in the spirit. Because, hey, man, without you brothers out there in New York, hearing, learning from all the elders that was teaching at that time, to the point where all that traveled all the way to Detroit. For us brothers to be woken, right? Because that's where it started. The home plate started out there in New York, in the home of the Mecca. So then guess what? Well, all y'all out there street teaching, what the Most High tell? If I think it's Ezekiel, prophesy to the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the words travel. So just to be here, to know the originators, man, it's an honor that the Most High has blessed us to be on the stage with all you elders that been in One West, rather if it's you, rather if it's Ara, rather if it's Priest Dan, rather for any brother that if I've forgotten the name that was in One West, it's always an honor, to share the stage with you, brother, and to even for you guys to accept the learning that the Most High put upon us. So, hey, appreciate you, brother.
Yes, Lord. Before you go, man, I just like to say this to brothers, the mighty brothers, and the beautiful sisters that's chiming in and giving us that spiritual support. I just give you Numbers chapter 6, verse 22. Yabarakaka Yahweh, Vaya Shamarka, Ya'ar Yahweh Panyawa Alyaka, Vaya Khanka, Yasha'a Yahweh Panyawa Alyaka, Vaya Shamlaka Shalawam, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, Kal Akyam wa Kal Akwath, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, Washamartham. I land there.
All right, and before we get out of here, definitely want to bring it up again. The second annual Friends and Family Fun Day, right? Is July 26th, which is a Sunday from 12 to 8. Definitely, we have games for the kids, Bible trivia games, talent show, paid cash prizes by our good officer, Yashawan, right? Just gonna be, a good time, right? And we would prefer you RSVP by the 19th, so we can make sure that we have enough food for everybody. We accept cash, even if you can't, you can still RSVP, you can pay on arrival. You can use the Cash App to pay beforehand, which is $ LOI Detroit, right? $15 per household, $10 per adult per individual, right? And then the next thing, right, later on today, right, we have the Unity Camp, right? So if you are in the Detroit area, from 1 to 7, right, 7 Mile Livernois, we're definitely bringing out the word there. Got our good brothers from YLK, Yahweh Law Keepers, Vanguards of Israel, Jacob's Lost Tribes, Army of Yahweh Shai, and HOY, the House of Israel. Right, we come together, bring out the word. You know what I'm saying? So just come out, show support. You know what I'm saying? And let's put on for the city, because the city, they doing something wicked, right? They're doing something wicked, promoting wickedness. You know what I'm saying? So we out there to rebuke it and to try to win as many souls as possible. And even if we don't win them right away, as long as we go out there and plant the seed, right? Because the Most High is going to water it. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, just want to say shalom. Definitely good seeing y'all brothers and sisters in the chat again. Again, the Water Elder, the Water Micah Allah, you know what I'm saying, for always being here with me. We'll be right back in the morning. Micah Allah will be bringing out some more fire tomorrow. So we'll be right back in the morning. So y'all stay tuned. And hey, shalom, y'all.
Shalom.
Right now, somebody is hating on you. And you and me is what we gonna tell them. I'm in a whole different stratosphere. Vision is sharp and my path is clear. On my purpose, plus I'm eloquent. Your opinion of me is irrelevant. I'm in a whole different stratosphere. Vision is sharp and the path is clear. On my purpose, plus I'm eloquent. Your opinion of me is irrelevant. Does it matter what they say about me? Cause I know God don't play about me. Rumors don't matter if they aren't true. The reason they mad is cause they aren't you. They aren't blessed, they aren't highly favored. They're just jealous that somebody made it. Words may hurt, but it didn't kill. And you can't break what you didn't build. Use these words as an affirmation. Don't let them distract you from your aspiration. Let the hatred feed your inner beast, but always keep God as your centerpiece. What that mean? You gotta be in B with it. Always. Don't stand for nothing, then you need to sit and watch the real soldiers take a risk. If you relate to this, then homie, make a fist. I'm in a whole different stratosphere. Vision is sharp and my path is clear. On my purpose, plus I'm eloquent. Your opinion of me is irrelevant. I'm in a whole different stratosphere. Vision is sharp and the path is clear. On my purpose, plus I'm eloquent. Your opinion of me is irrelevant. If the keyboard is crazy and the drum pad is kicking, you can pass me the mic. I'm about to start spitting. Will they love me? Feel feel me, relate to me, lyrically, hate me, despise me, corrupt inside spiritually. It's the times that we're living in. No selling my soul, there's no giving in. I ain't waiting on a Judas purse. Trained till the arms are bulging through the shirts. Get the picture, that's what cameras do. Protect what I own, I got hammers too. Prefer peace and I'm praying on it. Club Shame, let Damon weigh in on it. Use these words as an affirmation. Don't let them distract you from your aspiration. Knowledge and wisdom helps you free yourself. And success will find you, so be yourself. I'm in a whole different stratosphere. Vision is sharp and my path is clear. On my purpose, plus I'm eloquent. Your opinion of me is irrelevant. I'm in a whole different stratosphere. Vision is sharp and the path is clear. On my purpose, plus I'm eloquent. Your opinion of me is irrelevant. I need y'all to say that